Good morning, Online Empire Academy. We are here for our morning meditation on what is your X factor. And let me go and share real quick. I'm going to share in the other groups real quick. And let me go. Give me a second. I just got done with my power hour. What time is it? It's 5:44. I got done about 10 minutes ago. Been up since 4:30, which is fun. Great. Yum. So nice. Let's see. Name, mastermind. Hold on. What is your X factor? Just post there. We should be all good. All right, cool. So, turn that off. So what is your X factor? Morning meditation for the Online Empire Academy. What is your X factor? So the one thing that a lot of us, there are different types of capital, right? There's different types of capital that you can use in your life, in your business, in production, because it's not always business that you need to use capital on. You can use business in all different types of production. You have your, you have your financial capital. You have your time, like your actual capital of using your specific time. You have your knowledge, right? You have capital that is just your knowledge that you have, right? That you have at your beck and call right now to deploy. Now, yes, you can always build that knowledge. You can go get books and things like that and expand. But right now, you have a certain amount of knowledge that you can use as capital to build something. And then you have your X factor. You have your X factor. Now, what is your X factor? X factor is something that is specifically unique to you. Specifically unique to you, a talent, a tool, a character trait that allows you to use a very specific type of capital that nobody else can do. I mean, generally, nobody else can do. Maybe someone else in the world is just as good as you, but for the most part, it'd be very hard to find that person. But you have an X factor that gives you an incredible amount of capital. Now, this is something that I used to ignore quite a bit. And it wasn't until recently that I really took ownership of my X factor. And I've been building and building and building and building. So, for example, my X factor is that I'm able to take very complex concepts or very complex operations, look at them, simplify the actual process from going from beginning to end, and then put the things in place that allow you to easily, whether you're working, whether it's automated through software or through another person or staff, make them go from beginning to end very easily. Okay. Now, to some people, that's like, especially people who might not have a business or who maybe just have an Amazon business and they're selling things there. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's an interesting X factor. But for someone who's a large company, so for example, when I was dealing with a company over in Memphis that was having me consult for them, they are a property management as well as a house flipping company. They have several team members. They needed help in being able to take their processes that they have now, or take their staff that they have now and the things that they're doing right now, and make those processes happen in a very easy and profitable way, so that they no longer had to. So, for example, with the house flipping side, the people who were actually flipping the houses, for however much, 10, 20, $30,000 of profit, maybe $40,000 in profit, they were spending tons of time in the beginning. They were spending time researching the houses. They were spending time validating that these houses are going to be profitable. They were finding new ways and new leads of finding houses and things like that they can flip. So they really needed someone to be able to come in, look at everything that they were doing, and take the people who were flipping the houses out of the equation and only put them into a spot where they were necessary and where they were going to have the most bang for their buck, right? So my X factor in that particular case was to look and say, look, you don't need to be doing the research. You don't need to be doing finding new ways to get new leads. You don't need to do broker price opinions. You don't need to do all these different things. Create some videos on how you do that, and then we're going to outsource it to somebody in the Philippines, and we're going to create processes around it. So they did that, and literally, like, within 30 to 60 days, their profits quadrupled. And their seemingly huge process, or seemingly just giant process of what they were doing before, and arduous process, turned into something that was extremely simple. The guys who were doing the house flipping, they went to all they had to do was get a list of houses that they were going to, go check out the houses and verify that they were good, structurally and everything like that. Check it off, say, yep, these are good. And that's it. And they had no research. They weren't spending hours doing anything else. They literally were just validating, buying, flipping, validating, buying, flipping, validating, buying, flipping, and that's it. So the hours and hours and hours they were spending doing other things, we put someone else in there and into that spot, so these guys can just focus on what was actually making money. So that's my X factor. So what's your X factor, right? What's your X factor? Your X factor might be something like, it might be creating content in a very unique way. Your X factor might be, so Brad, the business partner in the Online Empire Academy, Brad, his X factor is networking with people. He has a huge network, and so many people trust him, so many connections, and it's something that not only I can't do, or I shouldn't say I can't, but I don't choose to do, I don't want to do. The people who are good at building networks, I've never seen anyone as good and as trusting of someone. I mean, he is loved by his network, because he has a whole system of just depositing good value toward his network, goodwill toward his network, love toward his network, and so on and so forth. So by the time he needs something, it's kind of like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to anybody that to actually help him. And that's actually one of the reasons why we actually ended up, doing things together, was because of how good he was, and he always kept in touch and everything like that, at keeping a network together and building a network. So what's your X factor? What's your X factor? Because it's that X factor that's going to make you a ton of money. In fact, I'm going to be meeting someone this weekend that is hiring me for something very, very, that's going to make a lot of money. And the only reason being is because of the X factor. And because he knows in the back of his mind, oh, if I get Dean on this whole entire process is going to be extremely easy. Okay. So what's your X factor? What's that unique thing? And if you could put it in the comments, that'd be awesome. Let me know I'd love to hear what your X factor is, and utilize that X factor. Utilize. You know, I want you to put your X factor in the comments. Okay, utilize that X factor, and we can even talk about that. So anybody who puts it in the comments, I can even give some tips on how to utilize in the next morning meditation, how to utilize that X factor, because that's really the most valuable, one of the most valuable things that you can use to make money or to grow something or to produce something. Okay, so all right, that's it for this morning meditation, Online Empire Academy. Put your X factor in the comments, and I will see you in the next morning meditation. Good morning. See ya. Bye.